So I want to help you get ready for your annual. The annual, I love all the work I do with my clients. I love all the session days, but I think the annual, the 2-day annual process is my favorite time that I spend with clients. I think because it's so deep, it's so profound, there's lots of great work that's done and a lot of team health work, which really seems to be, in my experience, is the most impactful. And so I'm really excited, whether you're doing it on your own, whether you do, hopefully, if I'm lucky enough to be doing it with you, I'm excited that you have this time coming up. So I want to sort of go through a few things. I've made a video about preparing for the quarterly, and I'm not going to go into everything on that video on this one. So I'm going to say right now, if you haven't watched that one, go and watch that quarterly video, and that's going to give you some ideas about sort of overall preparation. But what I want to talk about here is what's different about the annual. The first thing that's different about the annual is that you get away. You're disconnected in an ideal world for the middle night between day 1 and day 2. That means you're away somewhere, you're spending the night as a team somewhere, you're going out for dinner after day 1, and you're really disconnecting. It's part of what makes this experience so special. I can tell you that every now and then I have teams that do the annual and they don't go out for dinner after, they all go back home, and it's just not the same. So I'd ask you to do everything in your power to make that happen. You get away, you stay somewhere, and you book a dinner at the end of day 1 as a group, okay? So how do you prepare? Number 1, more time, okay? I say in the quarterly 2 to 3 hours, annual 4 to 6 hours. There's more work to do, and I'll tell you more about what that is, but I need you to say, okay, so typically I'm gonna say that's 2 to 3 hours, maybe a week before, 2 to 3 hours, 2 to 4 days before. So you're doing a bunch of prep work before you walk in that first day on your 2-day annual, okay? So what's the difference? So a couple of things. Number 1, we're doing some work that will require you to read if it's your first annual, or reread if it's your 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th annual, 5 Dysfunctions of a Team by Patrick Lencioni, okay? I've probably read this book 15 plus times, and every single time I read it, I get a new little nugget out of it. Something I learned that I didn't catch from it the last time. So I'm gonna say, please read that book. If you're sick of reading it, listen to it. It works perfectly well listening to it on Audible. If you've read it and listened to it and you want to do something different, there's tons of Pat Lencioni content for free on YouTube, and you can consume this in other ways. You can find stuff about 5 dysfunctions, talks he's given, whatever works for you, but please come in with your brain ready to do the work, because if you're doing this with me, we are going to go through the 5 dysfunctions pyramid, and we're going to pull out some team health, and we're going to get you better at team health. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2, get a good night's rest. So this is a very tiring 2 days. It can be very emotional. There's lots of thinking going on. And if you come in with a sleep deficit, if you don't get a great night to sleep before, we're not going to do the kind of work that you need to do, that you deserve to do as a team. So get a good night rest. Along with that, if you're a breakfast person, please eat a healthy breakfast before day 1. If you're helping to organize the snacks and the lunches for the team, please make sure there's healthy options available. We're doing so much thinking. There's a lot of brain power, a lot of calories being expended, and so you need to be feeding your brain and your body to do the very best work possible, okay? Read your prep email. I'm gonna be sending you a prep email with all the things you need to do, most of which I'm talking about now, but there's another way for you to digest it. Please, if you need to, just go through that prep email and make sure you're doing all the things that I ask you so you're fully prepared and ready for the meeting. The last thing is, I want to talk a little bit about the EOS tool. So in the quarterly video, I talk about going through the VTO, your accountability chart, that sort of stuff. What I want to say is the annual feels a little bit different. We've done a bunch of team health work in the morning on day 1, and when we get to the VTO review in the afternoon, it feels a little different. It feels like people are willing to go a little bit deeper. So what I'm asking you to do is, if when you're doing your VTO review and you're going through the different sections of it the way I counsel you to do in the quarterly video, just go a tiny bit deeper. Like that one thing that you're sort of been willing to go along with, but there's just a little thing that feels like it's not quite right. This is the chance to make that change, to put that on the table and talk about it as a team. So please, as much as in a quarterly I want you to go pretty deep, this we just invariably seem to go deeper. So do your best to go deeper on the VTO as you're going through. Parts of the VTO are going to change. We're going to be doing a new 3-year picture. So when you are preparing, you need to be saying, okay, where is our revenue going to be? Our profit, our measurables. When I look down that list of bullets, when we're painting the picture of what's it look like, we are now 1 year closer to our 10-year core target. So what are the things that we need to add to that to make sure we're tracking towards that core target? What are some things we perhaps accomplished ahead of schedule? That's great, that can come off the list. What are some things that need to be tweaked? But we're doing a new 3-year picture, so you need to be ready to do that work. We're also going to be doing a new 1-year goal, 1-year plan, with goals. So again, revenue, profit, and measurables. What do we need to do next year to be tracking towards our 3-year target? And what are some ideas you have for the priorities for the year, the goals? And we're going to argue, debate, discuss, and land on 3 to 7. But if you've done some work coming in before, so you all have, each of you have an idea, that discussion is more efficient. We're able to actually, rather than thinking of things, we're actually able to have more time, spend more time talking about those substantial things as we work towards the goals, okay? So those are the things that essentially are different. We're going to set new rocks the same way we do in a quarterly. Lots of other parts of the day are similar. We're going to have more IDS time though, so we're going to have a chance to dive into more stuff. We're going to create a big issues list. It can be sometimes be a little bit daunting after day 1, but we invariably get through just about everything on it. But it's a very, very powerful 2 days. So please do yourselves the service of taking the time to prepare so that we can have the very best meeting that we can. So if you're doing it on your own, good luck. Feel free to reach out if you want a quick coaching call to walk you through some stuff. And if you're doing it with me, I get to be with you. Thank you for trusting me. Thank you for allowing me to spend these 2 days, these powerful days, 2 days with you. And I can't wait.